What up, watch peeps? When I first saw this one, I thought, now that's a handsome looking watch. My next thought was, this one has the potential to be the next Timex Q. And honestly, it's a much nicer watch than the Timex Q. Same apparently popular Pepsi colorway, but this time in a fully functional GMT. So let's get into it. I'm Pete, and we are Chillin' with Watches. Wrist check. I am wearing the SBS today on this awesome Stevo strap. Super cool, love this look. But man, I am kind of excited to open this guy up today. I think a lot of people are wanting to see this watch as it kind of was just released. Didn't quite make waves like the previous Pepsi first did from this brand. But I'm hoping it's going to be just as cool. In fact, I think this might be a cooler watch than that first Pepsi. So what are we talking about? This is the new Timex Waterbury GMT. Check that out. Now, that shade of blue on the dial does remind me a lot of the Q, but this is a true GMT. I think this is a super attractive watch. I love the two-tone combined with the Pepsi. I think those two color palettes just really go well together. And while I love it, I also think that maybe what is holding this watch back from really having mass appeal. I don't think the general public loves two-tone as much as I do. Either that or people are worried about PVD coatings. And I'll tell you guys, I've taken a knife and sandpaper to a PVD watch that I wanted to show steel through and couldn't make a mark. I think modern PVD coatings are much more durable than people give them props for. So let's see how this guy sets. I love the quirky Indiglo button. I think that's what that is anyway. We'll find out. Oh wow. So when you go to set the time, the GMT hand just kind of ran back. I might need the book here on how to set this thing. I'm going to try and walk you guys through the process of setting this watch real quick. So the crown operates like a normal three-hander. It has two positions. The first is for setting the date. The second is for setting the hands. When you pull it all the way out, you'll see that GMT hand resets. Now you can see how it is a little off there. It is not perfectly lined up. Now you can use this GMT setting hand to reset that in the same fashion you would realign a quartz chronograph seconds hand. So once that's done, now I can set the local time. And you'll see the date does flip with the hour and minute hands. So let's go around, say we want to set the time to 8:10 a.m. Now the GMT hand will return. Now if I pull that to that intermediate date setting position here, you can rotate the date both forwards and backwards like a real GMT. Very cool. Today is the 14th I'm recording. Now when I return that, you'll see that GMT hand. Now you can set the GMT hand to whatever you want that to be. So if I have it set for 8, which would be here, and you'll see it is a little past the hour mark because it is 10 minutes past the hour. So if I wanted to set it to 9, it would be a little past 9 a.m. and you see it does move in 15-minute increments. So you got, there's your 9:30 spot, there's your 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30, 12:30 spot. And it is a unidirectional bezel. It is not bidirectional, but it is a nice notchy 60-click unidirectional. Would have been super cool if this was a 24-click or 48-click bidirectional, but still pretty cool. Looking at the rest of the watch, let's take a closer look here at the, brushed case sides, PVD gold bezel, the Pepsi insert. It's like a brushing on the dial that looks pretty nice. Nice applied indices. Text looks cool. Kind of like that Waterbury logo. Let's see if we can get this out of the way. The Waterbury GMT. The text and font is pretty cool. The green seconds hand is a bit wacky. It kind of, when it's zoomed out, you can see it kind of disappears. Waterbury signed crown, GMT. And there you can see the brushing on the case sides looks pretty good. Hollow end links. I like the H-link bracelet. This simple clasp. I've had this on Timex before. It's not bad. No micros, so you really kind of got to hope that you're going to be able to get a decent fit. Alright, let's talk details for a minute. This one is only available in the Pepsi and two-tone colorway as of now. And it is $219 on this bracelet and $189 on a black leather. Alright, let's go over the dimensions real quick. It is a 39mm case, 40mm at the bezel. It has a 46.8mm lug to lug. And it comes in at only 12.5mm thick. Very nice, very wearable. And of course it has a 20mm lug width. Going over some of the other specs, it does have just a flat mineral crystal. Basic super luminova, which we will take a look at, has a quartz GMT movement and 100 meters of water resistance. Oh, and comes in at 142 grams on the bracelet. I haven't sized the bracelet yet, but here's how it wears on my 7¼ inch wrist. As you can see, it's a great size, great dimensions, very wearable. All right, let's take a look at it side by side, some other watches. First, here it is next to something slightly smaller, my new Vostok 420 Silver Surfer. This one is 39 at the bezel as opposed to the 40 at the bezel of the Timex Q. Larger dial opening, but overall the dimensions are pretty close. Alright, next up I have my modded Invicta Pro Diver 8926 OB. This is a 40mm diver, basically the same case size. Don't judge my dome. Pretty similar wear there, aside from the large domed acrylic I have on there. And lastly, here it is next to the SKX009, about 42mm, larger watch, smaller dial opening. So, Seikos, they usually wear smaller than their dimensions would indicate. But all of these are pretty similar wears, I think. The SKX probably slightly bigger. All right, lastly, let's take a look at the Lume.
Keep the Lume.
Timex doesn't state anywhere what kind of lume they use. I am assuming it is just basic super luminova, but it is pretty good on this model. You can see the GMT hand is lumed. It's very evenly applied and very legible. There you go, the new Timex Waterbury GMT. This is a fun watch. The movement is fun to play with. I think changing times when changing time zones will be a breeze. The Pepsi and the two-tone is legit. Maybe no Q madness, but this one did sell out. All right, before I let you go, sneaker check. Just wearing my maroon chucks, and that's it. I'm out. If it's not too much trouble, please like, subscribe, and come back next time. Like 3 into the 2 and 2 into the 1. Peace. Chillin' Pete's done. I don't know.